Good afternoon, Star Wars fanatics. Welcome back. This is the second video I'm doing of this nature where I'm going unscripted just to talk about different aspects of Star Wars. Today I'm going to talk about Boba Fett and Jango Fett. And this thing in modern psychology about whether it's nature or nurture that makes a person do the things they do. So was Boba Fett predispositioned or fated to become the best bounty hunter in the galaxy due to his GNA template father, Jango Fett, being the best bounty hunter in the galaxy? But could it also be nurture, where the different things that brought Boba Fett up, different mentors he had and stuff like that, had trained him into being the best bounty hunter in the galaxy? If you're new here, go on and hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. Stay up to date on all my Star Wars fanatic releases, Boba Fett, Mandalorians, and general Star Wars talk. And if you like the video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. It really does help boost my channel. Okay, let's move on with today's topic. Is Boba Fett destined to be the best bounty hunter in the world due to nature, or was it due to his training from Jango Fett and his other mentors that brought him into the best bounty hunter in the galaxy through nurture? Now, if you've never heard the psychological term nature versus nurture, it's nature meaning the way they are predispositioned, what's in their DNA, what they're meant to be, or fate, which pretty much takes out will from anything. Not a person will, but willpower. Like you really don't have many choices, that they're already predetermined for you. Or nurture, the way you're brought up, which brings willpower back into it, and your own thoughts and your own actions and your own decisions that you've made, have those made you what you are? And Boba Fett is a perfect example of nature versus nurture due to him being a direct clone of Jango Fett, meaning his DNA is identical to Jango Fett. If you don't know, Jango Fett was the DNA template for the Grand Army of the Republic. They used his DNA to make that Grand Army, so all of the clones are just like Jango Fett, only they've been enhanced and modified a little bit so they grow faster. They have an inhibitor chip that keeps them docile and keeps them taking orders until the right time when the main order is given, or the biggest order, I should say. So that means there are millions of clones of Jango Fett. Some of them are altered. Boba Fett has not been altered, and I believe Omega hasn't been altered as well, other than she's a female. And what makes Omega a female isn't her DNA change, but rather a chromosome change. And one could make the argument that Boba Fett, the clones, and Omega, all of them could be predispositioned to be the best. I mean, hence the reason the Grand Army of the Republic was so successful could have been because of nature, because of that army being direct clones of Jango Fett, and he was so successful, the greatest bounty hunter in the galaxy. But let's look at the successes of Boba Fett. Boba Fett came along, and he was the direct clone of Jango Fett. Jango Fett raised Boba until he was about 10 years old when Jango Fett was killed on Geonosis by Mace Windu, a Jedi. So as much as a lot of us would like to believe that Jango Fett is a direct reason for Boba Fett being so successful due to Jango Fett's training of Boba Fett, he really only had 10 years with Boba Fett. The next, 20 years were under different mentors, and then Boba Fett went off on his own. I mean, he had Bossk, Aurra Sing, Cad Bane, and Jango Fett as his mentors. So would they have played a role in what Boba Fett has become? So before we get to the bottom of that, I do have a few points that I'd like to make. Number one, Boba Fett, the best bounty hunter in the galaxy. We already know that. His father was the best bounty hunter in the galaxy before him. After that, Cad Bane took the title. But then Boba Fett defeated Cad Bane in a duel where neither of them got killed, obviously, and Boba Fett took the title after that. The second point is Boba Fett speaks with few words in the original trilogy, just like Jango Fett did. If you pay attention in Attack of the Clones, Jango Fett didn't really speak that many lines. He had a few, and he said what he did say got his point across, and same with Boba Fett in the original trilogy. And the third point is kind of a reiteration of the first point, that Boba Fett took his father's title as well. He didn't take it. It was just, I guess, bestowed upon him because of how good he was. Now, that could be nature, that could be nurture, that could be either one, really. But it's kind of a coincidence that two Fetts with the same DNA become the best bounty hunter in the galaxy. The fourth point is Boba Fett has different experiences. no Mandalorian Civil War, no real contact with Mandalorians. He's pretty much on his own for a lot of the time, but Jango Fett was on his own as well. Not as long as Boba Fett, but still he was on his own. But at the same time, like I said before, Boba Fett did team up with other bounty hunters, not just the 4 that I mentioned or 3, but rather he teamed up with other ones like Dengar and Embo and that one weird girl with the light whip thing and the crazy hair, and also Asajj Ventress, who was a Darksider. But the 5th point is Boba Fett seems a little more ruthless than Jango Fett was. Sure, Jango Fett was hired to kill a senator and become the DNA template for the clones and all that stuff, but Boba Fett, when he goes after a job, it seems like he doesn't just get information from people. If you read the comics, you'll see there's one in particular where Boba Fett's looking for Luke Skywalker to figure out who he is to report back to Darth Vader or bring Luke back to Darth Vader. So Boba Fett stops at Tatooine, stops in the cantina, and confronts one guy in the cantina. The guy tells him what he wants to hear about Kenobi's place, and Boba Fett kills him. That's pretty ruthless. We didn't see Jango Fett do any of that. In fact, Jango Fett was raised on the auspices of not killing innocent people. Maybe that guy wasn't innocent. I can't really remember. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. But the guy Boba Fett killed in the cantina just seemed like an unnecessary killing. Now, with those 5 points I've made, it is going to be hard to determine whether Boba Fett is nature versus nurture. I do have my biases, Boba Fett being my favorite character in the Star Wars galaxy. And I'm sorry for that. Well, really, I'm not sorry for it. I mean, he's a badass. And you can read the comics if you don't believe me. If you think Return of the Jedi and The Empire Strikes Back is the only things he's been in, yeah, watch the Clone Wars. Read the War of the Bounty Hunters comics, the Bounty Hunter comics, and the Darth Vader comics. But I'm trying to keep my bias out of this, with my bias telling me that it is nature, that Boba Fett became what he was because of who he was, not what he grew up to be, who he grew up around. It's more about who his DNA is through, and it's through Jango Fett. But if we look at it at the same time, had Jango Fett not been rescued by the true Mandalorians and Jaster Muriel, what kind of life would Jango Fett have lived? He would have been a farmer's son for most of his life, and maybe even become a protector of Concord Dawn, like his father before him. But Boba Fett didn't go through any of that, and we only see a parallel between Boba Fett and Jango Fett. And that parallel being the life Jango Fett had to live because of Death Watch killing his parents on Concord Dawn, and then him being swept up by Jaster Muriel, taken in by the true Mandalorians, and becoming a true Mandalorian until he became ostracized from the Mandalorian society. But with me having this Boba Fett bias as him being my favorite character, I'm probably wrong. I could be wrong. It probably isn't nature, because Jango Fett wouldn't have became who he became had he not had those intervening circumstances, such as his family killed by Death Watch, and him being drifted away by the true Mandalorians and brought into a civil war, where then he learned how to bounty hunt and learned how to manage on his own, and then taught that to Boba Fett up until he was 10 years old, and then the rest of the mentors took over after that. But what do you think? I'd love to hear your comments down in the comments section. I will reply to you. I mean, I'm not totally Boba Fett biased where I'm going to say, nope, it's nature, nope. Because I am open-minded to it. Boba Fett being my favorite character, had it been nature, had it been nature, then Jango Fett would have to be my favorite character alongside Boba Fett, because they're essentially one and the same person. But I'd love to hear what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments. And if you're new here, please go on and hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications to see all my Star Wars content as I release it. I'm almost at 5,000 subscribers, and when I hit that 5,000 subscriber mark, I'm making an hour-long video of the last part of my Jango Fett fanfiction series. So you don't want to miss that. And if you haven't seen the other ones, go back and watch them. They're in a playlist. And also, if you like this video or if you find it intriguing, go on and hit the like button and help boost this channel a little bit with each like that's given. And thank you for watching. And remember, this is the way, the only way.